When I was in high school, I had my best friend was the son of a Methodist minister. He read a book called The Cross and the Switchblade, which was the memoirs of a Pentecostal preacher from West Virginia who went to New York City and ministered to the street gangs in New York. Now, this is the time of West Side Story. Street gangs used knives and chains and clubs. They hadn't gotten guns yet. They were a lot more friendly than they are now. Anyway, my friend was very impressed by this book, and he wanted me to read it. And because he was my friend, I did. So, time passed, and my friend told me that one of the kids that had been converted to Pentecostal Christianity by this minister from a street gang was coming to our little town to speak. He wanted to go. He wanted me to go with him. So I did. We went out to this. Now, first let me say, I wasn't very clear at this point in my life about what Pentecostal meant. I had been raised, insofar as I had any experience with religion at all, as a Methodist. We had attended Methodist services off and on over the years. My father really wasn't too into it, and my mother really didn't care too much about it either. Anyway, so I really didn't know what I was getting into. Anyway, so we go to the church. It's a nice new church, modern building. We sit right down in the front row, and the speaker comes out and starts in with her talk. Well, it didn't take very long before the crowd started to get worked up. They started, praising the Lord, hallelujah, and calling out, and then the speaker got into talking about speaking in tongues and praying and being able to speak the language of the angels. And she started babbling away, and before you know it, half the crowd was babbling away. I was just cringing up there in the front row. If I had been sitting further back, I would have got up and gotten out of there. But I was kind of trapped. There was no way of getting out of there. I was just thankful that we got through the whole sermon or speech without somebody throwing themselves down on the floor and rolling around. I don't know. I suppose it's a sign of being a teenager. I was very, very keen on not appearing foolish. And these people around me just seemed to be out of their heads. It was very embarrassing. So anyway, came to the end of the talk. I thought, well, wiped my brow. We made it through. Let's get out of here. But no, my friend had brought his book. He wanted an autograph. Now, in addition to my friend and I, there was another kid from our class attending this talk. This kid was the class brown-noser. He's the kid, there's one in every class who compliments the little old lady teacher on her nice new blue hair, who makes a comment about how nice the math teacher's tie looks, etc. I mean, this guy was just a suck-up. So, he came forward as well. He wanted an autograph on his book. And before you know it, my friend, the brown noser, and myself found ourselves in a back room with the speaker. And she was actively trying to convert us. She was telling us that if we just prayed sincerely, we too would be able to speak the language of the angels. Oh my God. Anyway, it took about 20 minutes to get around, of talking to get to this point. But she finally got everybody to agree to pray. I guess I sort of just didn't say anything one way or the other. Now, my friend was a sincerely religious person. He bowed his head, and I'm sure he was praying as hard as he could, but nothing came out. I was just pretending to pray and had no intention of talking in tongues at all. Finally, there was the brown noser, and he was a completely insincere person, and within 10 seconds, he was babbling along with the speaker, talking to the angels. I tell you. Anyway, we got through it. My friend got his autograph. We got out of there in one piece. But I have to say it was one of the most uncomfortable situations I have ever been in or ever hope to be in. I really think speaking in tongues is complete nonsense. Of course, if you're a brown noser and you're trying to get along with the rest of the group, get along with the preacher, why not? Anyway, that's my little story. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.